With the inner vision that is yours, open your eyes that you might behold the host who is here with you today. Some of them are very familiar to you. You recognize them as your guards, your guardian angels, your teachers, those who have been with you since you began this sojourn on the earth plane. And you come to realize that this lifetime is one of many that you have experienced. And that successively you have made progression in what you have dawned important with each incarnation to encounter. And you have chosen this yourself. You have had a plan for each incarnation. And together, there's an overall plan that you have brought to this present experience that we call your awakening. So with regard to your awakening, now we open this up to you. If you have questions, then please bring them to me, and I will do the best that I can to answer them. Yes?
Dr. Foster, would you touch on the topic of psychic attachments, what they are, how we may feel them interfering with our lives, and how to free ourselves from them?
Psychic attachments. They are a reality. But for many, they are not recognized as being something that is brought and then accepted. And I put it that way to you to help you to see an attachment cannot have its influence on you without your receptivity. And I assure you, your receptivity is there. And the reason I say that is because all of you have negative programming. So when I speak of psychic attachments, I'm speaking of something that is going to work to get you to firmly believe what it is impressing you with is the truth for you. And it will always be negative. Easily recognized. How do you feel with the thoughts you're getting? How do you feel with the feeling you're feeling? How does this fit into your already existing programming that perhaps if you become more conscious you'll recognize is simply a patterned behavior that you have learned but is not a true example of who you are? As you can, allow yourselves to digest that part. Psychic attachments. They primarily originate from another race. Now that will come as a shock to many who are unenlightened and uninformed. But you see, this universe is filled with races that exist on other planets and even in other star systems and even in other galaxies. Yes, you're not the only ones in the universe. There are those who are more advanced than you. There are those who are less advanced than you. And that part might be shocking. Because I know, you see, with a race who is juvenile, who is not enlightened, and awakened will have an attending awareness of self that they are superior. And that will originate from feelings of inferiority. So now bringing this back to what I just claimed as a truth, and that psychic attachments many times are the result of another entity influencing you, and the objective of their influence is to get you to generate certain frequencies of energy. In this case, density and distortion, negation, fear, anxiety, regret, remorse, anger, resentment, jealousy, just to name a few of the ones that are of this vibrational band that they use as food. So that clearly reveals the fact that they do not exist in a three-dimensional, 3D dimension. They don't have physical bodies like you, but they still need energy in order to sustain them. Now, this is not a recent occurrence. It has been going on for thousands of years with humanity, in that you have been systematically programmed to lower your rates of vibration, your belief and attitude toward yourself, to where you come away with a feeling of less than. This goes directly into your ego, and if you've ever noticed what a conflict your ego presents itself as. Sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low, sometimes it fights with itself, sometimes it fights with you, and all the while it is exhibiting a feeling of less than. So, if you take all of this and put it together, you see this is a deliberate program to get you to feel low so that you generate a corresponding vibration that then becomes their food. Now that's to answer this part of your question in a very small, brief consideration. But even taking this and then expanding it into what is happening in your world today, I say this for your enlightenment and your awakening. Look and see that there are those of your kind, your race, your species, who are their minions. In other words, they are used to carry their intention to the rest of humanity, and that design is to completely capture humanity, to live in a low state of energy, to where they are controlled and manipulated by another alien race. If I were to leave it there, this platform would not serve as a high enough precipice for you to jump and end it all. But you see, that isn't the end of the story. That's just to bring you to a place of seeing that is the part of the story that is being kept from you. Which then brings us to a place, if I may proceed, to what is solution here, what is salvation here. It all lies within you. You see, you are radiant beings of light, as was already mentioned earlier. But you are in an unawakened state that you do not recognize your true nature, and consequently you find it impossible or difficult to live your true nature for any extended period of time. But you see, that's what you're here for. On one hand, to recognize psychic attachments, other entities, others of your own species who are working against you to prevent you from awakening, because the same thing that they generate with you to control you, they are also receptive to, and that is fear. They are afraid of your awakening. They know that when you, as an individual and as a species, awaken to your true nature, then they have no chance whatsoever to control you, and they will have to leave your planet. But please don't take that last part as a foregone conclusion. It's simply a part of the possibilities that exist in evolution. So it comes right back down to you individually. It's up to you to awaken in yourself. And as you do, then you experience in your awakening a discovery that you no longer are susceptible to this. And that's because you raise your rate of vibration and sustain it to such an extent that you have no receptivity to density and distortion. So I mention this because all of you right now are in various stages of this awakening. That you have moments of clarity, and then you have moments of falling back into that unconscious state where you are thinking negativity, you're feeling negativity, you're believing negativity, you're acting out negativity, and then you catch yourself and you say, wait a minute. And as you grow stronger in yourself, you then in that moment determine, and with that determination, you change what you were generating and choose to raise your rate of vibration, and you choose love. You choose peace. You choose harmony. You choose courage. You choose determination. You choose any of the higher frequencies that aid and assist you in aiding and assisting yourself. So in that last statement right there, look and see. You as a creator determine what your life is. Instead of complaining about somebody else being at fault, you leave victimhood. And you say, I am not a victim, and I choose not to live that awareness. And you open yourself to considering all the possibilities that you can embrace as an awakening being of light. So, those of you who perhaps have experienced or are experiencing attachments, and you find yourself at times succumbing to them, and when you do, you find yourself believing that this is real for you, and even to the point of defending those who are attacking you, wake up. Stop feeding them, and they will starve. Wake up, generate higher frequencies, and begin to align yourself with what God, Source, Infinite Spirit has for you in evolution, and that is to evolve. Live your true nature. And if you don't know what that is, be open to discover it. It's there awaiting your recognition. So thank you for your question, and thank you for allowing me to elaborate. If there's anyone else who would like to know about hot dogs and hamburgers, I'll be glad to answer you. Yes?
Is there a positive aspect to ego?
Is there a positive aspect to ego? In the grand scheme of things, I ask you to look. Would God create an ego if it did not have some God quality in it? What you're experiencing right now is a bastardized version. It has been overridden and overtaken by this enveloping consciousness that humanity has created, and that all of your egos feed into to become re-informed with who they are being programmed to believe themselves to be. You change yourself and you will notice that your ego eventually will begin to change with you. But don't expect it to lead you like it is right now. See, you as a race have become very lazy. You pretend that you're the one making your decisions, when you're really allowing ego, who's being programmed, to make your decisions for you. You may complain about it, but notice how you still follow. So it's for you to assume the rightful position, and that is the conscious, notice I said conscious, the conscious choice maker in your life, instead of the unconscious follower. So your ego will then reveal its capacity to be positively influenced, but it's going to take some time to take out all of these other programs that are operating in you that you believe are actually you, when they're not you at all, they're simply programs. And then you consciously choosing to replace them with whatever you see to be valuable to you in that moment of awakening. So if you look at it from that perspective, you see, well, my goodness, it's ongoing. So does that answer your question? Ego is potentially your ally, but the way it's working right now, not happening. But don't look at your ego as something that you're going to shoot, fire, dismiss. It's still there. But if you learn to be present, then you'll learn what really is important, and that is just what I said. Be present. Be available consciously to what is, instead of unconsciously tuned in to the negative programming. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
Can you explain how masks might be used by lower entities to control humanity?
Masks? Well, how does it feel? How does it feel? Confining, restraining, okay? And it also gives the idea of something being covered. Who you truly are, not being allowed to be seen or to be expressed, and through the expression to have greater communication. Please look and see now that masks, so far as what's actually going on in your world, are totally inappropriate. Your medical system does not give you the correct information so far as what it is, and then so far as what treatment to give what it is, so that wellness then results. There's a phrase, MSM, which makes reference to? No, MSM. Mainstream media. I spoke earlier of minions. Mainstream media is a minion that is giving you false information. And if you notice, it is all the same no matter the source. Is that really the only possibility that humanity has? Wearing masks, staying 6 feet apart, going into self-confinement, allowing yourselves to be then vaccinated and chipped so that you can then experience the liberation and the freedom that they're saying you're going to have. No need to worry anymore. We'll take care of all of your problems for you. So my follow-up statement is, wake up. Masks are not designed to protect you. They are designed to operate as an object of separation. You feel separated in yourself, and you feel separated from others. If you look at humanity before all of these modern medical miracles came into the picture, humanity has experienced true pandemics. This is not a true pandemic. My instrument was speaking to someone just earlier and was saying, you need to do research on this to find out the facts that so far as the number of deaths each day worldwide and where those deaths stack up so far as the most powerful deaths, and just over 150,000 die daily in your world. And of those, the first, of course, is heart disease. The second, of course, is cancer. And then down the list at number 15 is COVID-19. And the numbers that are actually related to that death, many of them are not true. So what you're doing to protect yourself from this deadly disease is unimportant. What you need to do is have a very clear awareness of the radiant being you are, and then as that, use your good radiant being common sense and take care of yourself. Take good care of your body. Take good care of your awareness. And if perchance you were to have some kind of infectious disease come to you, don't go to the American Medical Association for a solution. Go to an alternate source and see, well, what good things can I do to help my body help itself? What can I do to support my immune system? What can I do to help me rise above and through this opportunity that life is presenting to me to grow and to evolve? Does that help you with a slight expansion? So you get the pitch. But so far as where you are in the world, if they won't let you into the grocery store because you're not wearing a mask, and you want to go to that grocery store, put on the mask. But do realize that in your growing awareness, there's another thing that's being called upon you to do, and that is live your truth. And if the opportunity is appropriate, speak your truth, so far as your recognition that this is all a plot and a ploy, whose eventual design, and not too far in the distant future, to control all of humanity. Thank you. I'll take one more question, and that is it. Yes? The pineal gland? Yes.
And how important it is.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask, what things can we do to foster the growth of that, and what things should we avoid that would be harmful to that part of our brain?
Most of you have a pineal gland. So that's hopeful. But also, most of you have a pineal gland that is minimized, all right? Some of it may be called calcification, to where the gland has stopped operating, functioning as it was designed to function, and you need to go through, research this, find out what you can do. Don't take my advice for it. I'm simply encouraging you, realize this is you, this is your life, this is your body. Your pineal gland can function much better than it is right now, but you may have to clean it up. So you may have to do something to remove or reduce this calcification, this covering that has gone around your gland. Of course, the gland is not quite that big, but that is just to give you an idea. So I'm saying it can become reactivated, but it's for you to look, to research, to study, and then to follow through, because there are proven processes that can help your pineal to become healthy. And then there are proven techniques to reactivate it and get it functioning well for you. And I'm not even telling you what it can do. That's for you to look and discover. It will be like having your third eye waked up to where you can see through the invisible and recognize what is there. Does that help you? All right. So once again, I remind you, feel the presence of those who have gathered with you, who in this time have drawn close to you to help you in your receptivity to the information that has been conveyed. I'm not asking that you agree or that you disagree, but I am encouraging you to look again. Because when it comes right down to it, you are the final decision for what happens in your life. You have a hymn that says, "Open mine eyes." Place in my hand the wonderful key that shall unclasp and set me free. Peace, love, and blessings.